Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu says 2.32 crore rupees have been disbursed under the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Nagaland government says lockdown measures will continue to remain in force till 3rd of next month. Sealing of interstate borders and international border to continue in Nagaland. And Deputy Commissioner Dimapur expresses concern over disruption of movement of frontline workers, warns stringent actions. A total amount of 2.32 crore rupees have been disbursed under the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu in a tweet informed that out of the 2.32 crore rupees, a total financial assistance of 34.2 lakhs were given to working people, other Nagas stranded outside, and students outside Nagaland through respective Naga Students' Union, while an amount of 178 lakh rupees were given to Deputy Commissioners of all the districts and 20 lakh rupees assistance to Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority. Nagaland government today said lockdown measures will continue to remain in force till 3rd of next month to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the state. An order issued by the Chief Secretary Demchen Toy said, with the extension of the lockdown period, following activities will continue to remain prohibited across the state of Nagaland. These activities include the inter-district and interstate movement of individuals, except for medical reasons, all buses for public transport, taxi, including auto rickshaws and cycle rickshaws, and services of cab aggregators, cinema halls, malls, shopping complexes, sports complexes, swimming pools, entertainment parks, dine-in restaurants and auditoriums, assembly halls and similar places. Further, all social, political, sports, entertainment, academic, cultural, religious functions and other gatherings are restricted. Besides, all religious places or places of worship should be closed for public, and religious congregations are strictly prohibited. In case of funerals, congregation of more than 20 persons will not be permitted. Nagaland government has said sealing of interstate borders will continue in toto in all the state borders of administrative subdivisions and its subordinate administrative circles as a caution to fight against COVID-19 pandemic in the state. The government said the total lockdown conditions will be imposed in all the subdivisions and only movement of goods vehicles, including those transiting the state, would be allowed after proper medical screening of the drivers and attendants of those vehicles through designated entry and exit points. However, interstate movement of vehicles and individuals will not be allowed in Pandari subdivision. Further, the international border of the state with Myanmar will continue to remain sealed. Dimapur District Administration has warned that stringent actions will be taken against those hampering the movement of frontline workers who are tirelessly working to contain the spread of COVID-19. Deputy Commissioner Dimapur, today expressed serious concern over the continuous barring of entry and exit of frontline workers by several colonies and villages despite several appeals. He called upon the frontline workers to report such instances to the concerned authority so that necessary actions will be initiated. Acknowledging the role of social organizations, he appealed to the NGOs and village councils to sensitize and educate the people in their respective jurisdictions. Kinchi advised that it is better to stay at home by maintaining social distancing instead of people guarding the village or colonies in groups. The Deputy Commissioner also said all precautionary measures have been taken to contain coronavirus, stating that Dimapur COVID-19 hospital is fully equipped and ready to take in patients. 1,553 fresh confirmed cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the total number to 17,265. Out of these, 2,546 patients have recovered and discharged from the hospitals. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Health Ministry Joint Secretary Love Agarwal said that India's doubling rate of COVID-19 cases before lockdown period was 3.4 days, and now it has improved to 7.5 days. As per data on 19th of April, in 18 states, the rate is better than national average. He said the number of districts where no case has been reported in the last 14 days has increased to 59 districts of 23 states. He said the doubling rate of COVID-19 cases is more than 30 days in Odisha and Kerala, and there is no active case in Goa now. Agarwal added that the doubling rate of infections in India has increased. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. Union Home Ministry has urged states and union territories to ensure strict compliance and implementation of revised consolidated guidelines on lockdown measures without any dilution to fight COVID-19. In a letter to states, the ministry observed that certain states are allowing activities not permitted under Home Ministry guidelines. Home Ministry spokesperson said violations to lockdown measures have been reported which pose a serious health hazard to public and risk for spread of COVID-19. Union government has constituted 6 inter-ministerial central teams to make on-spot assessment of COVID-19 situation, issue necessary directions to state authorities for its redressal, and submit the report to the centre. The teams will focus on compliance and implementation of lockdown measures as per guidelines, supply of essential commodities, social distancing, preparedness of the health infrastructure, safety of health professionals, and conditions of the relief camps for labour and poor people. Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that the daily COVID-19 testing capacity at various laboratories in the country will be scaled up in the future, and it is expected to reach 1 lakh tests per day by the end of the next month. ICMR said that a current model of inventory stocking and distribution will be scaled up significantly to meet the increased requirement of testing materials with increasing number of tests. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has reiterated that flight restrictions that are in place as a result of India's fight against COVID-19 will be lifted once the government is confident that spread of the virus has been controlled and it poses no danger to the country. In a tweet, Puri said some airlines did not heed government's advisory and opened bookings and started collecting money from flyers. He said a directive was issued to them yesterday to restrain them from doing so. The airlines were also informed that they will be given sufficient notice and time to commence bookings. The Dimapur District Administration said farmers and other persons involved in agriculture and allied activities have been exempted from the lockdown. In this, the administration said movement of persons involved in agriculture and allied activities should not be obstructed in the colonies. The district administration further said other activities that are exempted from the purview of lockdown measures include farming operation by farmers, agencies engaged in procurement of agriculture products, including minimum support price operations, mandis operated by Agricultural Produce Market Committee, distribution of fertilizers, pesticides and seeds, custom hiring centers related to farm machinery shops of agriculture machinery, repairs and manufacturing to remain open. Meanwhile, movement of harvesting and sowing related machines, both inter and intra-state, is permitted. And now 20 news, here are main points again. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu says 2.32 crore rupees have been disbursed under the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Nagaland government says lockdown measures will continue to remain in force till 3rd of next month. Sealing of interstate borders and international border to continue in Nagaland. And Deputy Commissioner Dimapur expresses concern over disruption of movement of frontline workers, warns of stringent actions. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.